Couldn't find the Collins surplus store, so we went out to their main facility. And the lady was sorry, but I think it was a Saturday. They weren't conducting any tours that day. But who should come down the stairs at the right moment but Art Collins himself.
Holy cow.
And gave us a tour of the place. And I mean, to think that this corporate head took time to take a 14-year-old kid and show him. And I remember at the time, the computers back then were still rudimentary.
Oh God!
And
what year are you talking about?
Huh?
50 something?
No, summer 1962.
62. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, you know, the whole space program, they were totally tied into that.
They had these huge. I remember behind a glass wall with these big magnetic tapes, and they jerked once in a while.
A room full of things to do.
The tapes would jerk once in a while. I suppose that was the storage facility back then. Those magnetic tapes about so big.
They're still used.
But anyway, that's why I was disappointed when Rockwell took over and kicked him off the board. Because I thought he was a pretty nice guy. I
mean, that guy only dealt with, you know, heads of NASA and people like that. John Van Allen, you know. You know John Van Allen, who the Van Allen guy is?
Oh,
local
I wish I could have met him before he died.
Physics professor. I met him.
So, yeah.
I have pictures of him. He was local. Came to our house once to our community. I lived in a community house in the 80s. Yeah.
Did you know who else was a local author here? I don't know. You may not have heard of him. He wrote
just keep coming.
A novel called Hot Rod. It was about a boy who built up a car and entered it in races and stuff. And his name was Henry Gregor Felsen. And I didn't know he was at University of Iowa. But Chuck Miller told me one time, I don't know if he was actually part of the Writers' Workshop, but he says they're pretty much a bunch of elitists, and he said, they like you until you fight back, and then they hate your guts, he said.
Yeah. They can't handle anybody like Chuck. Chuck is just too politicized for anybody. I mean, the guy's smart, you know, but he doesn't have manners. Like, he doesn't say, you know, I might agree with some of what you're saying, but here's my view. He said, that is all bullshit. That's the way he goes, you know.
I know it.
You are just lying, you know. You just buy into the corporate world and just going along, you know. That's how he talks. He doesn't have any...
Remember Chuck, the illegal shack out there in the
Oh, God, I have pictures of that.
Hey, I want a picture. Could you get me one?
I'll swap you for part of a book. How's that?
Well, can you cover my cost?
Absolutely. I don't know. We'll see. Can you cover my cost?
Well,